So the announcements right here, picture slides of blueprints. So you click on that. It will take you to a Google folder. And then right now, obviously, we only have one PowerPoint because we've only done one blueprint, right? But here's the pictures. Obviously, I don't put any real text or anything like that unless it's important, because you need to like go through the video or be in class, right? But hopefully this can help you figure out like what's wrong. So as an example, a lot of you guys, you had the false set visibility wrong. So let me actually double check mine and see if I did mine wrong too. Oh, I did. Oh no. So yeah, let's see. Why do we want it that way? Maybe I told all the other wrong things. Let's see. The player overlaps it. Is the cube placed false? Oh, I told all of y'all wrong. I am so wrong. Sorry. It should be true. It should be true. It should be true because we're saying it's the companion cube's not there. We're setting the text, we're rendering it, and then this needs to be true. So for everyone that I just told to turn this off, go back and fix it and turn it back on. Please turn it back on. All right. It's actually supposed to be right here where it's turned off, either in the advanced one, or if you don't have the advanced one, this one right here, where it's supposed to be set false. Okay, so
as soon as you told the first person, I was like, oh shit, let me go get that.
yeah, okay, so it's my fault. My bad. So that should be true.
Don't worry, we'll pretend we did not see that the first time.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it. All right. So anyway, the pictures are right here, so you can go through them. You can see like here's the door thing. I didn't take a picture of the time frame, so I can do that now actually. And you guys can go through this and look at it and figure out like, oh, what do I need to do? How do I need to do it? And if you're missing something or there's a question or something like that, by all means, just let me know and we can try and solve it for you guys. Okay. And then of course the video is there too. So we have the YouTube link video. It's still right here. Click on it, and there should be the third video. Yep. Okay. So any questions on that? Hopefully not. All right. So no questions is good. So the next thing we want to do is we'll close this door, make sure it's saved, close the door blueprint. Our door is in a good spot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the door out of the way for now. You can just go over there, something like that. I'm just going to move it out of the way. And really, I don't need these other cubes. We can get rid of these cubes as well. So I'm just selecting the cubes and hitting the delete key on the keyboard, because we're only going to have one companion cube. We don't want to make like a million companion cubes. All right, cool. That looks good. All right. So the next thing is, building the platform assignment. So let's go look at that. User story. So where are we at here? No, not Drive, this one. So we'll go to, did I miss? Oh, yeah, right. So we'll go to assignments. And here it is. It's, I didn't publish it or something. Oh, no, here it is. It's this one. It's in the wrong spot. There we go. So building a platform. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a platform for where you place the companion cube. The platform needs to have a cube mesh to let the players know, hey, this is where you're going to place that companion cube. It needs to have some render text to give feedback. And we're probably going to need some collision meshes too to say, hey, is a companion cube there? Is a companion cube not there? Is the player there? Is the player not there? And so on and so forth. And let's see, so unlock the door when the cube is placed correctly. So we need to unlock the door. Oh, and we should also build the door to have a key press. So when you press the key, we'll get to that probably on Tuesday. And let's see, and then give feedback to let the player know that the door is unlocked. All right, so that's the assignment. It's going to be turned in the same way. You will show it to me, get an easy 100, just making sure that you're following along, because eventually I'm going to release you. Like there's a lot of lecture initially, like me talk, and then I'll walk you through some things, that's like a crawl. And then you're going to do some walking. And what I mean, like, right, learn how to walk. And finally, when you do some walking, you're going to be on your own, and I'm not going to help you. Maybe a little bit I'll help you, probably, because I'm that kind of person. But that's the idea. So at the end of class, you'll do some walking. Hopefully no one will do any running, because we don't want to fall over. And we're not there yet. It takes time to get up to that pace. Okay, so let's go ahead and build the beginnings of our platform blueprint. So what we need is we are going to right click in our content browser. I'm gonna slow down a lot more. Content browser, content core. We're gonna right click right here. We're gonna get this context menu. We're gonna say blueprint class. It's going to be an actor, and it's gonna be BP_platform. All right, once you got that set, go ahead and double click to open it. And we have that sphere again, because that's how Unreal does your thing. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our components, add component. In the component search box, we're gonna type in scene. We're gonna grab a scene, rename it to root. This is stuff we've done before multiple times. Left click and drag that root onto our default scene root. We get this context menu, this is drop here to make it a new root. And now that sphere is gone when I let go of the mouse. Good, save. All right, so let's think about some of the things we need. First we're gonna need is a platform. So cube mesh, we're gonna do cube. And this is gonna be the platform. We'll do platform mesh. What else do we need? We're gonna need a box collision. So we can type in box collision. And I have my box as a child of platform mesh. I do not want that. I want it to be a child of root. So I'm gonna left click and drag it so that it's a child of root. What else do we need? Actually, we're gonna rename this one. This is gonna be companion cube collision. And then I'm gonna select this. This is a different way to do things. So I'm gonna show you a different way. So I'm gonna select this companion cube collision that I've just renamed. I'm gonna hold down Control and hit W. And when I do, it makes a duplicate of it. So that's Control plus W, duplication. This works all over the place in Unreal. We're gonna rename this one. This is gonna be player collision. And what else do we need? We need helper text. So we're gonna do text renderer. And this will be helper text. And I've foolishly made mine a child of player collision. So I'm gonna actually drag it onto root. So it's a child of root. And maybe we'll do a light too. So we'll type in light. We'll do a point light. And we'll name this to helper light. And we will make that a child of root as well. Compile and save. Okay, so what we want to do is what we'll do is we'll place this in front of our player. So I'm going to find our player in our scene here, grab our platform and place it in front of the player like so. And I'm going to scale it in the blueprint so that it fits better for the player. So what we're going to do is grab our platform mesh. We'll go into scale. You can hit R as well to scale it. Remember, the grid is the ground. So I'm just going to scale it down like that. And we'll go on the X and Y, something like that. And that looks good. We just need a place to put the cube. It's kind of big, actually. All right. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing we need is the companion cube collision. So I'm going to scale that to match the size of the box. Oops. This guy, scale it. And then we're going to scale on the Z axis. And we'll bring it up a little bit. And then we need, we'll compile and save. Then the player collision is actually going to be bigger than the companion cube, right? I'm sorry, bigger than the platform. Because the idea is the player walks into the area. Actually, I'm going to scale up this collision first, and then I'll show you what I mean, what we want to do. So I'm going to make this bigger this way, and something like that. Okay, so the idea is that the player walks into this first collision, and then we give them helper text. Do you have the cube? Do you not have the cube? And if they have the cube, then we tell them, hey, place it on the platform. If they don't have the cube, then we tell them, hey, you don't have the cube, go find it. So that's what this first collision is. The second collision has nothing to do with the player at all. It's for the cube itself, the companion cube. So when the player drops the companion cube onto the second collision, this inner collision, then we do all the unlocking of the door and give them feedback saying, hey, you did it, you unlocked the door, congratulations, good job, you're super awesome. All right, so I'm actually going to scale up this player collision a little bit more that way and this way as well. And we can mess with it as far as feedback goes. I'm going to bring it a little bit further forward. I don't want to start in the collision. I want to be out of the collision. And I also don't want it to be part of the door. So I'm going to just move it a little bit. Actually, I'm going to move the door out of the way. You go over there, door. We don't need you right now. All right, cool. Compile and save. All right, so the next thing we need is our helper text. And we will drag this helper text up. And you can see where it is. And I'm actually going to go into the details. Let me zoom in on this text so you can see. Right now it is left aligned and also upper aligned on the Z-axis. So I'm sorry, actually it's bottom aligned. That's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to helper text, details panel, text category, horizontal alignment, centered, vertical alignment, centered. And I'll compile and save. And then now we can look at it in the game. And we need to rotate our box because if I hit play, you can see the text is backwards. Walk, 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 walk. That's no good. So we will rotate our box like this, 180 degrees. Then we hit play, and now the text is facing the right way. And what we can do, since we're thinking about it, since the text can only be read a certain direction, what we'll do is we'll add an arrow. So I'm going to go to add component, arrow, and here it is, arrow. And I don't want it to be a child of helper. I'm just going to put it right here as a child of root. And I'm going to rename this. It's going to be text read direction arrow. And then I am going to bring this up a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it 180 degrees. And we're going to bring it backwards a little bit. And in the details panel, arrow component, change the color to something cool, like maybe a nice pink. We will leave it as hidden in game, that's fine. Let's scale it up actually. Let's see, arrow size. We'll make it a little bit bigger like this. Maybe a little bit longer. That looks good. And I'm actually going to drag it like that. So it's actually, it's like going through the box, if that makes sense. And the reason we're doing this is so we know how to place it, right? I can't really see that text renderer, the text, that doesn't matter, but I know how to place it. I want the player to walk up to it. Oh my gosh, the cameras, go away. I want the player to walk up to it the same direction, right? I want the flow to be the same way, if that makes sense. So if the player is looking at it like this, he's going to see it backwards, right? So I don't want that to happen. Undo, undo, undo. And so we can be real crafty by rotating this guy and maybe placing it next to a wall, something like that. So we don't have to worry about the the text direction and the way the player reads it and all that. But for now, we'll just put it back over here so we can test everything out and it looks good. All right. So make sure you guys have all that. Let's go back to our platform. Do we need a helper light? I'll bring that up a little bit so that it's not being blocked by text and the platform and all that sort of stuff. Actually, bring it up a little bit more, maybe something like that. And then we'll do intensity like crazy, like a crazy amount of intensity. But the attenuation radius doesn't have to be that much, just enough to be on the platform itself. You know, you don't want to light up the whole world, just a little bit. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. We'll get into some of the coding part of it. Awesome. Okay, so let's go to the event graph. Oh, you know what? I missed one thing. Let's go back to viewport. Helper light, details panel, rendering, not visible. We don't want it to be visible until the player interacts with it. And the same thing for the helper text. So helper text, details panel, rendering category, visible, unchecked. So both of those should be unchecked. All right, event graph. We can get rid of these three, we don't need them. Let's go first, we'll first do the player collision. So we're gonna click on player collision, details panel, scroll down all the way to the bottom. And what we're looking for is begin, on component begin overlap. And we'll go back to player collision, details panel, events category, on component end overlap, both of those guys. All right, so we are going to need begin play. So we need a reference of the character. So that's this guy right here. The camera. I'm going to turn that off next time. So we need a reference of this. And why do we need a reference of this? It's so that we can interact with it. And we want to make sure that it is the player that we're interacting with. This is the advanced thing that we did with the door blueprint. If I open that up, I'll show you what I mean. So you can see right here, we have a reference or a variable of the first person character so that we can interact with it and do things with it. In this case, we're just checking to see, is it the player that left the collision in the door blueprint? But we're gonna do something very similar in our platform. So first we're gonna do is in our event graph, we're gonna right click. We're gonna get this context menu. We're gonna type in begin play. And you can see right here under the add event category, we have event begin play. We need that guy. That was one of the three that I deleted earlier, by the way. So anyway, event begin play. We're gonna drag out from there. We're gonna do get actor of class. And you'll notice there's two different ones. We have get actor of class and get all actors of class. The one we want is singular, get actor of class. So I'll click on that. And then right here, we have this purple pin. It says get select class. What we're gonna do is we're gonna click on that. We get this context menu. We're gonna search for first person character. And here's the actor that we need. So click on that guy. And then our return value pin, we're going to drag out a noodle from there. We're going to let go of left mouse. It gives us the context menu again. And the one we're looking for right here is promote to variable. And then we can rename that variable, and we're going to name this BP underscore first person character. We'll compile and save. And I will show you a cool trick. So what you're going to do is you're going to left click and drag all three of these, this event begin play, get actor class, and your new setting of the variable. So with all three of those selected, you're just going to hit the C key. C is in Charlie, the C key. And what it does is it allows you to write a comment. So what we're going to do is we're going to say getting first person character for reference. And with the comment selected, you can do all sorts of cool stuff in the details panel, like change it to pink, green, orange, whatever, right? I like doing that. And you can either turn the bubble off or turn it off. I normally leave mine off. I don't need them on because they get kind of annoying. Cool. All right, so now we have that. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna grab our first person character. And last time we met, I told you to do left click and drag. And when you do, you get this context menu for a getter or a setter, right? I'm going to show you how to not deal with that. So what you can do is hold down control. When we hold down control and you drag out and you let go of the left mouse, you get the getter. And if you hold down alt, you get the setter. So that's getter is control plus left mouse, and the setter is alt plus left mouse. All right, some cool shortcuts for you guys. All right. So what we need is the getter. So I'm going to hold down control, left click and drag. And with the getter, I am going to drag out a noodle from this pin. And I am going to type in equals equals. And you can see right here it says equals an object. I'm going to say yep. And for clarity's sake, I want this pin or this noodle to be on the bottom pin. This noodle right here to be on the bottom pin. And we talked about how to do that. So I'm going to hold down control, left click, and when I drag, you can see it changes to that hand, right? So I'm going to left click, drag, and connect it to that pin. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so now we have this red pin. We're going to drag out from there. And we're going to type in branch. And this is just checking to see, is it the first person character? We don't have everything connected up yet, right? This pin is missing its noodle. And of course, we don't have an execution. So let's fix that. So what we need is other actor from this on begin overlap, other actor into our equal pins. We're saying, is it the first person character that went through that overlap? If that's true, then do some things. If it's false, do other things. So we need to connect up our flow. So connect up that execution pin to the branch. And I am going to drag this down just a little bit. We'll compile and save. All right. And what do we need? We need the helper text to change. We need maybe a light to come on, and so on. And actually, we need another branch, actually. So we'll do is say, is it the character? If it's true that it's the character, we'll do another branch. So I'm going to hold down the B key. With the B key selected, I'm going to hit left mouse. So that's B plus left mouse. And what that does is, actually we'll do B plus left mouse. for a branch node. All right. And what this branch node is saying, does the player have the companion cube? So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new variable. And we're going to click right here under variables, my blueprints, variables category, plus symbol variable. I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can see it. And I'm going to rename this to, does player have companion cube? And I'm going to drag it right onto our condition statement, just like that. Compile and save. So player walks through the collision. That's true. Does the player have the companion cube? Right, so we need to connect up this true flow to this next new branch. Does the player have the companion cube? And if they do, then we need to adjust the helper text and say, yeah, you got it, good, good, good. If they don't, then we say, oh, you don't have the companion cube, you need to do these things. So we need another variable for helper text. So we'll click on variables again. So my blueprint variable, this plus symbol, new variable. This one is going to be called helper text value. And you can click on this red dot right here, this red icon, and change it to a text. Or you can go to the details panel, variable type, and change it to the text. Either way. We'll compile it and save. And we'll start with a false. We'll assume that the player does not have the companion cube because we haven't built the companion cube yet. So we'll drag out a helper text. We're going to actually hold down Alt, drag out a helper text, and that'll give us a setter. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, you need the companion cube to unlock the door. Go find it. Maybe I'll make this 2 sentences. I'm going to hold on Shift and hit Enter to make it 2 lines of text. Then I'm going to grab our helper text in my components, helper text, drag that guy out. And then I'm going to drag out a noodle from that pin, and I'm going to say set text. This is the same thing we did before, so it should be familiar. And we are going to connect the, what color is this, like pink? It's like, I don't know, it's like a pink color. We're going to connect that guy to that one, to the value. We're going to connect our setter, that looks good. Grab another helper text. We're going to do, we'll do color on this one, so it'll be, what is it, color? Set text renderer color. Well, we're going to need some variables for this guy, so we'll do my blueprints, variables, new variable. Actually, you know what, it'll be easier. This is an easier way to do this. Let me show you an easier way to do this. What we'll actually do is drag out from this value. So we're dragging out from the value guy, and we're going to say promote to variable. And then we're going to name this, this is going to be helper text red color. And we'll compile and save. And so now the variable's created for us, much easier to deal with. And then right here under helper text, with the helper text red color selected, I'm probably going too fast. Let me know if I am. Under the details panel, default value, right here under R for red, we're just going to change it to 255. We'll compile and save. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to select this helper text again, helper text color red. We're going to hold down Control and hit W to duplicate it. And we're going to change this to yellow color. And then we're going to duplicate again by holding down Control and hitting W. And that is going to be green color. This is just an easier way to deal with it. Compile and save. So with yellow selected, details panel, change red back to 0. And then what is it? Blue and green. Make yellow, I believe. No, what is it? Red and green? I forget. Red and green. There you go. Make yellow. And then helper text green. Obviously, it's going to be green at 255. So we'll use those in other text color rendering help, right? Okay, so let's see, we got the text. Oh, we need to connect this false. We'll connect the false flow right here. So we're setting the text. The helper text gets set with the value we gave it. The helper text color gets set to red. What do we need now? We need to set the helper text visibility, not the player collision, helper text visibility. So we'll grab another helper text, set visibility, try to make it visible so the player can see it. Yes. Then we'll go to, so this is all good. So what we'll do is we will select all these, hit C, and we're going to say set helper text value, color, and visibility. All right. And I'm going to show you guys a neat trick that we could do to make this a little bit easier on us. But actually, I can show you now. So what we're going to end up doing with it when it's true is we're going to do the same thing, right? It's going to be the exact same thing, but the only difference is that this text will be different, right? You did it, right? And then the color will be different too, right? This helper text, helper text color will be green. But all the other logic is exactly the same. True? Correct? Yes? Okay, so what we can do instead of duplicating this stuff all the time, all over the place, is we can make this a function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it all. We're going to right click it and say collapse to function. And when I do, under my blueprints functions category, I have this new function and name. And you can see we have a single node now that needs to be named. So we're going to name this function, we'll say set helper text value, color, and visibility. So we'll just do VIS for visibility. All right, so we'll compile and save that. And then we're going to go into that function to modify it a little bit so that we can use it in other places. So I'm going to double click that guy. And you can see now that we have everything set except for our, I mean, everything is the way it is, except that we need to make it so that if we're going to use this, that this can be changed automatically and our helper text value can be changed automatically. So I'm going to do is I'm going to select first under our text renderer color, this set helper text color red. I'm going to select that and I'm going to delete it. And then for our setter, this guy, I'm actually going to hold down Control, hit X to cut it. So Control plus X to cut. I'm going to go back to our event graph. I'm going to paste it right here for now. We're just going to leave it right there for now in the event graph. We're going to come back to that. All right, let's go back into the function. You can either do it by going into the tab right here, or you can double click on the node. Let's reconnect up our flow. So execution to execution looks good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to see this value. We're going to drag that pin. We're going to drag out a noodle, and we're going to connect it to this input that has no nodes. And as soon as I do, you can see as soon as I do, it changes to this add pin to node. And I'm going to say yes to do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing for our set render text color. So I'm going to drag out a pin from the value, the color one, and I'm going to connect it right to our input right here. Okay, that looks good. We'll compile and save. And I have issues, and that's okay. And it's because it can't find those two values because we haven't set them. These are called arguments, by the way, for those of you who do programming. So this function has these two arguments. So it's looking for these two values that we're about to rename, by the way, and so that it can set the text value and then also the color. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on this input. With the input selected, we're gonna rename these guys. So this is gonna be for the text one under details panel inputs, the text one is going to be helper text value. And then the second one is going to be helper, oh my gosh, helper text color value. Compile and save. Okay, let's go back to the event graph. And now we're going to reconnect these guys up. So see this one that we cut earlier, we're going to connect the false to there so that it's flowing back the way it was. And then we're going to connect that guy right into here, just like that. And so the way it works is now the flow is from here, it goes into here, and then it goes from here to this set text. And then our helper text color value, we'll just grab our red. Remember, I held down control to do that, to get a getter. Hold down control, left click and drag. That'll get us a getter. And that looks much better, much, much better. And what we can do now is we can left click and drag to select all three of these, Control C to copy, and Control V to paste it. And we can connect up our true. We'll get rid of the red color and we'll change it to green. And then our text will be, you did it. The companion cube has been placed and the door is unlocked. Maybe I'll do this as 3 lines. Cool. Compile and save. Okay. So let's test this. Let's see if this works. So what should happen is the player overlaps the big collision box, not the inner one, but the outer collision box. We check to see, is it the player? And it should be true. We check to see, do they have the cube? Oh, let's make sure the cube is set to true. So does player have cube? Right here under our variables category, under my blueprint variables, does player have companion cube? Details panel, default value. We're going to say yes, it's true. Yes, he does have the cube. We haven't built it yet, but that's okay. And then if it's true, this message should pop up. You did it. And we should get green text. So let's see if that happens. Player walks up. You did it, right? Cool. So now what we'll do is we'll go back to our platform. We'll go back to our does the player have it, and we'll set it as false. Compile and save. And we'll hit play again. And now it should be red and it should say you didn't do it. You need to go get the cube. Right, you need the companion cube to unlock the door. Go find it. Cool. So that is working. All right, so what else do we need to do? Let's set the light up. Any questions? You should be here now. If you're not here, let me know. Give me an X, give me a thumbs down. If you need a little bit more time. Maurice with the big thumbs up, appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. Good job, guys. All right, I'll give it just 1 or 2 more minutes. Good job, Cody. And okay, cool. All right. All right, so let's mess with the light now. So we're going to help our text light. We're going to drag that guy out. And we'll work in the false part. Well, false right here. Okay, so we'll work in this part. Actually, I'm gonna just delete that, but I just want you guys to know what line we're working. So helper text. What do we want to do? We'll drag out from here. We're going to say set color. So set light color. This one right here. And we should be able to just double click this guy and bring it up, and I am going to set it to red and red. And then we need another helper light text. I'm sorry, not helper light text. Oh my gosh, another helper light. And what we're going to do is set visibility on this guy. Set visibility. And we'll connect up our flows. Make sure you connect those guys up. So execution, execution. And we want it to be visible. So that's true. We'll compile and save. And now let's take a look and see if that works. Could you show the beginning of the code? Sure. So the beginning of the code is we have our begin overlap, and we are using our reference of our first person character. We're seeing, is it true? Is it equal to that? So that's what that equal symbol means. And then we have our Boolean connecting to our condition that checks it. So this branch checks it. If it is true that it is the character that went through that collision, then we say, does the character have the companion cube? And for now, he does not, or she does not. And then we do all our setting and all that stuff. No problem. Okay, so here we are, helper text light, setting the visibility. Let's see if that works. We'll hit play, and now the light should come on whenever I walk up to it. Yay, see, it got the red light. That's pretty good. That's good. So let's go back to the platform, compile and save again. And what we're going to do, instead of, connecting it like this, is we're going to create another function. So we're going to grab these two guys. We're going to do right click on any of the nodes, collapse to function. And we're going to say set helper light value. Oh, actually, it would not be value. It's going to be color. Color. Set helper light color. Actually, I still don't like that name. Set helper light color and turn on light. There we go. That feels better because that's what it is. And technically, this is actually bad code, right? You should only do one thing in your function, and this is actually two things we're doing. We're setting the color and turning the light on, and technically should be one. And this is also bad code too, because it's three things we're doing: setting the value, setting the color, and setting the visibility. But that's okay. We're all learning. Okay, so we're going to go into this function, set helper light color, and turn it on. We are going to, let's see, what do we need? We are going to go to the set visibility, this new visibility right here. We're going to uncheck it. And then we're going to drag our red pin right into the input. And then we're going to do the same thing where it says new light color, where it's got it set to red. And we're going to drag that into the pin as well, into our input. So we're creating two new arguments for this particular function. Okay, so the first one, new visibility, we're going to say this to, we can do toggle light actually, toggle light. And new color, we'll change this to set light color. And actually, we don't need it to be set, but just do light color, that looks better. Compile and save. And now I want to rename this function again, because we can actually toggle the light to be on or off. So let's do that. We're going to rename it again. So I'm going to go back to our My Blueprints functions. We're going to rename this set helper light color and turn it on. We're going to rename it to and toggle light. There we go, because we can turn it off and on. And I did that by hitting F2. You can also do it by right clicking and saying rename. Either way, F2 to rename it, or right click, rename. Okay, looks good. Compile and save. Moving right along. We're going to go back to the event graph. And now you can see our set helper light color and toggle light. So we want to toggle the light on. So we want it to be true. And then the light color right now by default is set to black, but we're going to change that to red because it is false. And you can see here we have red and set to true. So compile and save. And then we'll check it out. Let's make sure that works. So hit play. Hopefully we get red light and it turns on. Hey, it works. Perfect. All right, so now we can copy this guy, duplicate it up here, connect, and we'll change the color to green. Compile and save. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a connection, a dependency is what it's called, a connection between the door and this platform. So what we're going to first need to do is get a reference of the door. So we'll go back to our begin play and where we have where it says getting first person character reference. We're going to change that. So we'll select the comment and we'll go details, graph node, comment text for say getting references instead of getting first person reference because we're getting more than one reference. So what do we need? We're going to do, I'm dragging right here on the bottom right to make this bigger. We're going to drag out from the flow here, from the execution pin. We have our context menu. And in the context menu, we're going to type in, what do we need? We need get actor of class. And I'm going to tell you right now, actually, I'm going to make a comment here. This only finds one door. Okay, it only finds one door. If you have multiple doors in your level, we need to figure out how to do that. But for what we're doing in this class, it's fine that we just only find one door. But understand that get active class only will find one door. As soon as you have two doors, it breaks. All right, so get active class. The actor we're looking for is our door, a blueprint, BP underscore door. So we can type in BP underscore door, and there it is. And then we're gonna get a return value, drag out a noodle from there, promote the variable, BP underscore door. Compile and save. And now what we can do is we can go to our false, we'll grab our door. And if you remember in the door itself, someone open up the door blueprint so we can look at it. We have a variable right here that says is cube placed. See that? And by default, it's set to true. So let's make sure yours is set to false. We want it to be false. We don't want the cube placed automatically. So make sure it's set to false in your door blueprint. So open up your door blueprint, find is cube is placed under your variables, and make sure it's set to false. All right, let's go back to the platform. We're going to drag out from our door and we're going to say is cube placed. And you can see that we're getting this variable from the door. See, is cube placed? We're getting it right there. And let's see, does player have companion cube? Is cube placed? What are we doing here? Let's see. I want to make sure we're doing this right. This is for player collision. Set in has key. Oh, Okay, we're actually not going to do the connection to the door just yet. We can do it. We can do it. It's fine. We'll do it. It's fine. So what we'll say is, yes, it did set the companion cube. We're actually going to break this later when we do the inner collision, but that's fine. Is companion cube placed? And we're going to actually, we don't need a getter. We're going to do a setter. So delete that. Drag out from the pin again. Do a new noodle. And it's going to be is companion cube placed, or is cube placed? Yeah, is cube placed. We're going to do setter actually. Set like so. And then we're going to say false for this one. And then we're going to copy this and paste it up here. So Control C, Control V, Control C, and Control V. And we're going to say it's true for up here. Now we will, let's see, we'll go to our blueprint. This variable called does player have companion cube. We're going to leave it as false for now. Make sure it's false. And then we'll go and hit play. And we can look at our door. You can see the companion cube is on. You need the companion cube to unlock the door. Okay. And if we go to the door and we hit F, it'll say the same thing. Companion cube is not set. Please set the cube to open the door, which is fine. So then we'll go back to our platform, change that variable to true where it says, does player have companion cube? We're going to set it to true, compile and save. We're just testing things right now. We'll hit play, go to you did it, the companion cube has been placed and the door is unlocked. That's good. We'll go to the door and congrats, the door is open. So you can see how they're connected now. They have a dependency between each other because of that setter that we did right here at the end. Unlocks or locks the door. And this logic actually is on the wrong, it's on this outer player one, and we actually need it to be on the inner one. So we'll fix that in a minute. But I wanted to demonstrate how it's done. Okay. So any questions? Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see the stuff here. And I will make this a little bit smaller. All right, that's about as zoomed in as I can get. Give me a thumbs up if you're there. We got about 15 more minutes. I wanna do the turning of the visibility off. Cool, awesome. So we'll go right here on component end overlap. What we're gonna do is this is on the end overlap. We're gonna left click and drag these three nodes, this blueprint first person character, the equals, and this branch. Grab all three of those, Control C, Control V for copy and paste. We're gonna connect our flow, the execution to the execution, the other actor to the other actor connection, just like this one, right? So they look exactly identical. All right. And if it is the player, actually, I'm gonna drag this down a little bit, drag it down a little bit so we have some room to work. If it is the player, then we want our function right here, set helper text color and toggle the light. So we're gonna make sure that is false. So if it is player, turn it off. And we are also going to do set helper text value, color, and visibility. Oh, did I miss the visibility? What did I do wrong here? Oh, we'll fix that. Let's fix that. So we'll connect these for now. That's fine. While and save, and it's giving me errors. Why is it giving me errors? Oh, because I don't have any values set there. Okay. All right, let's delete that one. We'll delete that node. We'll leave it as it is. It's fine. we'll do it the old fashioned way. So we'll grab the helper text, drag it out, drag out a noodle, set visibility, false. Oops, false. There we go. Looks good. File and save. And so we don't really care about the light color because we're turning it off, right? And then over here, we're turning off the helper text as well. And this happens when the player leaves the collision. So we'll grab all this, we'll say player, and I hit C, by the way, to write a comment. Player leaves collision area, turn off light and helper text. We'll do helper light off, helper light and helper text. Perfect. And let's make this a cool color too. How about slight teal or something? File and save. And now we will go back, hit play. The door is unlocked. Perfect. And when I walk away, it goes away as well. This is exactly what I want. And what we can do is we can go back to our platform, go back to the has command cube in place, uncheck it, compile and save. Make sure that works. Hit play. Perfect. So now all we need is the companion cube, right? We will save that for Tuesday so you guys can take in all this, but the cube will look something like this, right? It'll just be a big block, just regular cube. You'll be able to grab it like I'm grabbing it, be able to set it down like I'm setting it down. And then you'll be able to place it on the platform like so, and then the door will open like so. Oh, we also need to build a wall and a door as well. Or we have the door already built, but a hole where we can put the door. So we'll do all that on Tuesday. Well, actually, probably be a little bit of Tuesday and a little bit of Thursday as well. Cool. So that's it. You should have your platform built. You can place it wherever you want now if you want. You can put the door wherever you want. And you are almost there. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No, sir.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Then that's it. Have a good one.
Awesome. Thank you. You as well.
You have a good